But having my debut novel be sort of so overtly marketed as romance, I both felt a need to continue in that genre, an interest to continue in that genre, but I also was increasingly aware of how few women of colour were writing romantic stories. I felt kind of out there on my own, like on the bookshelves, or when I went to events that were featuring romance fiction authors, I was often the only woman of colour or person of colour there. And so, if, like maybe a year and a half ago, I was thinking about this, and I thought it would be nice to have a collection of stories written by some of my favourite authors that are all love stories. So I was actually at the hairdressers at the time, and I was like, it might be nice to have a collection where, you know, people can turn to this and see that there are, you know, 10 stories here that are all written by different authors of colour. So it was just kind of the kernel of an idea. And I was having a meeting with a commissioning editor from Orion, and we were talking about ideas that I had. I mentioned this to her, and she was really enthusiastic about the idea. And so the project kind of was greenlit. And then it was a case of actually approaching people and asking them if they would be willing to write a story for this collection. So I kind of drew up a list that wasn't really much longer than the list of authors that are in this book, who weren't necessarily all writers of romance, but they were authors who I admired and who I knew would deliver on this brief of just like, write me a love story. Some of them were people I knew, some of them were just people I admired and who I had to kind of approach and ask to write a story. But, you know, everyone was really receptive to the idea. And yeah, that was kind of how it all started in a very long-winded way.